I'm going to make an assumption right now that you know that I love LEGO Speed Champions as a theme, and right now that theme are making two kinds of sets. They're making this 8-stud wide kind of car, and they're making a couple of little poly bags. That's what we're talking about today. I'm going to assume that you are short on time, and so we'll keep a review of this little poly bag set short as well. Today we're talking about the LEGO Speed Champions Aston Martin Valkyrie AMR Pro. It's only 97 pieces, came out, I don't know, earlier in the year in 2022, and this set only costs $10. I'm going to assume that you, like me, have also bought two of this poly bag because you just got so excited when you saw it in a Walmart, and so individually these only cost $5, but again, let's go with that assumption that you got two, and let's say that these are $10 because might as well get a second. Let's continue with these assumptions, because you know what they say about assumptions. They're a good time for everyone involved. I'm going to assume that you like LEGO Speed Champions. I'm going to assume that you recognize this little Aston Martin AMR Valkyrie, whatever it's called, as the same car that LEGO Speed Champions just made with their, what was it, the March wave of Speed Champions that just came out. And I'm going to assume that you already own this larger 8-stud wide vehicle of this same car. And with all of us here having owned both of these cars, you can see that it's actually like a pretty good little interpretation of this car. I'm also going to make the assumption that you, like me, have a bunch of Hot Wheels around your house, because I'm going to assume that you also have a 2- and 4-year-old and they love these little cars. I'm going to assume you also have a couple of dogs that eat a lot of those Hot Wheels, and so you'll keep these cars out of their reach because they'll also eat Lego. But knowing that you love Hot Wheels as much as I do, you like Lego sets that are basically little Hot Wheels cars, right? Assuming you want to see a side-by-side of these two cars, here you go. Look at that. I think it's like really well matched up between these two things. Both have this like interesting little cut-in going on. Obviously you got more details in the 8-stud wide car. That weird rear wing going on with the exhaust coming out. This like sharp fin coming up the back. Well accomplished in both of these cars. Something funny I noticed when comparing these two cars, I assume you'll find it funny as well. This 8-stud wide LEGO Speed Champions car is, you assume correctly, 8 studs wide, and yet this very small scale version, that's still 5 studs wide. That's only a difference of 3 studs between these two, and yet look at the level of detail difference, right? The funny thing is, LEGO Speed Champions up until a couple of years ago was 6 studs wide, which would have been 1 stud larger than this basically Hot Wheels car. That just goes to show how far Speed Champions has come in a short period of time. I assume you're aware this is not the first time LEGO has done a Speed Champions poly bag in this scale. LEGO's done this kind of thing before. They did the McLaren Elva. These are both in the 5-stud wide category and both have 8-stud wide Speed Champions counterparts. LEGO Speed Champions has done this before with this little Lamborghini. I don't remember what this is, Centenario or Aventador or something. There's also an 8-stud wide companion to that. This is a Batmobile from the Batman. We just did a video on that. I love it. And this is just the generic muscle car. LEGO likes this scale of cars. However, it's only these two here, the two newer ones, that are in this 5 scale. And you can like see that this is a considerable difference in the level of detail you can accomplish just adding a single stud. I'm going to assume that you've already seen pictures of the real Aston Martin Valkyrie AMR Pro, and in doing so recognize how cool this actual car is. And if you haven't, I'm going to assume that after this you're going to watch my review of the LEGO Speed Champions 8-stud wide Aston Martin Valkyrie AMR Pro car and the other Aston Martin car. It's a 2-pack in that set, and you will see footage of the real Valkyrie in that video, and you'll then recognize how cool this car is and then want to go out and buy this set even more. One last assumption that's probably a lie. I'm going to assume that you follow Formula 1 as closely as I do, and you're a member of the same subreddits that I am, and you see that people are complaining about the speed of the Aston Martin safety car that is out this year in Formula 1, and people are saying replace whatever that Aston Martin is with an Aston Martin Valkyrie concept car. That would make everyone go faster and then be a little less safe, thus defeating the purpose of a safety car. I'm going to assume that you also would still like to see the Valkyrie as a safety car just because of how cool of a car it is. Okay, I assume you're as tired of this bit at this point as I am, so that's all I'll say about this little car. But yeah, absolutely pick this thing up in stores if you happen to see it. As always, thanks so much for watching. I assume you enjoyed this video. I assume I'll see you next time. That might not be the safest of assumptions, having just recorded this video. I assume this is goodbye.